everyone, my name is Hannah. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be starting a reading vlog that I'm sure you can guess by the title, but it is reading some of Gabby from GabbyReads' favorite books. So I have been watching Gabby's channel for quite a while now. I've watched so many videos and rewatched some of her videos because I just love them so much and I love Gabby. Her personality is just perfect. And I have picked up several books based off of her recommendations or books that she's mentioned in videos or vlogs that she's enjoyed, which makes me want to read them. And I've picked up so many books because of her. But I wanted to do some of her all-time favorite books, and I have a whole list of books that she said are some of her favorites of all time, and I have 3 here to read for this reading vlog. The very first one is Fangirl by Rowell. This one Gabby has read, I think she said 3 times. It's her most reread book. And I actually have already read this book and I really liked it and I've been wanting to reread it, so I'm gonna do that now for this video. This is about Kath, who is just starting university, and she writes fan fiction for this series in her world called Simon Snow, which is kind of like Harry Potter, and she's a very introverted character, and it's just her experiencing college and being away from her twin sister for the first time basically ever. But yeah, I know this is one of Gabby's all-time favorite books, so I'm going to reread it for this video. The next book that I'm going to pick up here is what Gabby says is her favorite book of all time, and I've just heard really good things about it and I've been interested in reading it for a while, and that is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I just love this color, the cover. I like the colors and the swirl, I guess. So what I know about this book is that it follows the main character, whose name I don't know, Henry, and his boyfriend just killed himself, and Henry gets abducted by aliens, and he's told that if he pushes this button he can save humanity. And Henry's kind of well, does humanity even deserve to be saved? And I think it goes back and forth, they bring him back so he can think about it and then they take him again. Yeah, I think it's just a story of this teenager who is really sad and depressed and angry at the world, kind of deciding humanity's fate based off of how he's been treated and how his boyfriend was treated. But I've heard that this is just a very moving story and that it really touches the heartstrings, you know? So I'm really excited to pick this one up. And then the last book that I have for this reading vlog of reading Gabby's favorites is The Humans by Haig. I also really love this cover. I don't know, something about that dark blue to greenish or teal colors. These are very similar covers, but I like them. This is another alien one, but in a contemporary setting. Apparently this professor figures out some equation or something that could change humanity, and these aliens are watching and they're well, the humans are not ready for that. So they need to send this alien down to take over this mission to erase this equation from the world so that it doesn't mess with us or something. And it's basically just about him getting to know humans as a species and kind of deciding is humanity worth it, I guess. So there's kind of a theme going, especially with these 2 books. But I am really, really excited to get to this one. I just think that this is going to be such a quotable book, and I'm just really eager to get into it. So yeah, these are the 3 books that I am going to be reading to read Gabby's favorites. Like I said, I love Gabby and I've been reading tons of books that she's mentioned or recommended, but now I think it's time to read some of her all-time favorites. So I think I'm going to start with Fangirl, actually, just because this one's a reread. So just updating that I started reading Fangirl, and I am listening to the audiobook because Fangirl was the very first ever audiobook that I listened to, and I really enjoyed it. I freaking love the audiobook. I really like the narrator, and so I decided that on my reread, like, I wanted to pick up the audiobook again because it's so good. And I forgot how fast of a read this book is because I'm already 166 pages in. So yeah, I got like over a third of the way through it. And yeah, it's just such a quick read, and I really like Kath and I really like Levi, so it's bringing back all the feels from before. And I checked on Goodreads, and I last read this in July of 2016, so like 4.5 years ago. So I might still pick this up later tonight, but we'll see. I might just watch some booktube or whatever. Hello everyone. I am in bed a full 2 hours before I actually intend to fall asleep because I am exhausted. I am mentally exhausted and I am physically exhausted, and it is only Monday. Oh, today was just a really long day at work. So now I am ready to really relax. If you couldn't tell, I could honestly just fall asleep right now. But I think I'm going to read a little bit more of Fangirl, or I should say listen to a little bit more of Fangirl, and maybe watch some booktube videos. I don't know, we'll see, but I do want to get a little bit farther in this because it makes me feel happy. I just made it to chapter 20. I am on page 230, so I think I'm about halfway through now, and I am really, really loving this. I really like hearing about Kath's writing, and like not just her fan fiction writing, but like writing for her class, and like she meets another writing student at the library just like for fun, and they like write creatively back and forth, and that just sounds so fun. This is obviously Kath's first year at university, and it's just making me super nostalgic for being at university and like being on campus and going to the library, and I don't know, I just miss those days sometimes. Anyways, I think I am going to try to continue reading at least to page 250. Oh, there's another part. There's a second part, spring semester. I might try to get to that, and then I might go to bed. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. I feel pretty good now. I'm not like so exhausted in my bones, and I'm going to go ahead and attribute that to Fangirl because I'm just really enjoying it. So I'm gonna get back to reading. Good morning, everybody. So last night I managed to finish Fangirl by Rowell. I think I enjoyed the reread of this more than I did when I read it the first time, because the first time that I read this, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and this time I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 because I just really enjoyed everything about it. I really like Kath's character. I find her to be so relatable, and I liked like how they explored her college experience for her first year at university, and like how she struggled with certain things, and I just found that again to be really relatable. I like Levi. I liked all of the Simon Snow stuff that's in here, and how they talked about like her fiction writing, and yeah, I just really, really loved this. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. So that was my only reread for this video. So now these other books I have not read. I don't know what they're really about and if I'm gonna like them, but I have a very good feeling just because what Gabby says, just because if Gabby likes them, I feel like I'm gonna like them. I've just read so many books based off of her recommendations that I've really enjoyed. There have been some that she's really enjoyed that I haven't, so our reading taste isn't exactly the same, but I've just read so many good books that she's recommended that I just really trust her opinion, and I'm really excited to read these books. I've wanted to read them anyways, So I think the next one that I'm going to pick up is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Well, good morning, little one. Hello. Would you like to say hi? Hello, everyone. My name is Ellie. Don't know why I gave her an accent. Oh, my sweet girl. So yes, my next read is going to be We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. I haven't started it yet, but I was putting my bookmark in the book, and there's like a little quote at the very beginning of the book that I already have highlighted and tabbed. So the quote is by Arthur C. Clarke, and it says, "Two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying." I loved that. I have never heard that quote before. I don't know who Arthur C. Clarke is. I feel like I probably should. Maybe I should do some research and figure out who that is. But I have also watched Gabby's... okay. Obviously, this video is very Gabby-centric because it's about reading her favorite books. But at this channel, on this channel, we stan Gabby Reads, okay? If you've watched several of my videos, then you know that I mention her in like every video pretty much. I just love her so much, if that's not abundantly clear. But one of the videos that I watched of hers is like her favorite book passages, where she reads passages out of books that she really, really likes and that have really stuck with her. And one of the passages she read in that video was from We Are the Ants, and it was the very first chapter. It's like 3-4 page thing. And the very first line is just, "Life is bullshit." And it's the whole passage, like her reading it made me like really want to pick up this book because it's a great opening passage. It's a great opening line, like when you can hook somebody like that in the first page. But yeah, so I haven't started it yet. I haven't read the passage again, but I have heard that passage when she read it. So I'm really excited to read this, and I'm definitely going to be annotating this. Usually I don't annotate books that I haven't read before. Sometimes I do, but not typically. Like I did it with Loveless by Alice Oseman because I knew I was going to love it. But I usually do it on a reread of a book. Speaking of, I wish I would have annotated Fangirl when I was rereading it, because there were a lot of things that I was like, oh, I should highlight that. And then I just didn't. So I guess I'll have to reread it again and annotate it. But for this one, I plan to annotate it. I've got my supplies here, my green marker and bluish Post-it to kind of match the cover, and a pen in case I want to write or underline anything. So I'm all set to start the next book. So let's go. So I started reading We Are the Ants tonight, and I got really far, like almost halfway, I think. I'm on page 216. So yeah, I'm almost halfway, and I've already put in a few tabs for some quotes and stuff that really stuck out to me. But this book is a lot heavier and a lot more depressing than I was expecting. I guess I knew that this was going to be like a heavier YA book, but I'm finding this to just be like, I don't know, way more heavy than I was actually anticipating. Yeah, it's kind of putting me in like a weird headspace right now, so I am going to put it down for the night because I don't feel like I can continue at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to put it down for the night and try to watch something happy and try to lift my mood up before I fall asleep, because I usually have pretty like crazy dreams pretty much every night. So I don't want this to like affect my dreams and my sleep. So I'm going to set that down and try to go watch something uplifting, maybe watch some booktube, maybe watch something funny on Netflix, to try to kind of pull myself back out of that headspace, because it is pretty dark. I will also say there are a lot of content warnings that I would put on this book. Obviously, suicide, because Henry's boyfriend kills himself before the book begins, and it very heavily talks about that. Depression, self-harm, bullying and physical abuse. Yeah, if there's more as the story goes on, I'll let you know, but those are the ones that I would put on this so far. So Alright, hi everyone. I just finished work for the day at 12-hour day today because of parent-teacher conferences. I'm a teacher if you didn't know. But I did manage to finish We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. And I don't really know how to explain how I feel about this book, I guess. There were a lot of things that I really liked about this book, and then there were some things that I didn't like. So for me right now, it's just kind of sitting at like a 3-star, which is kind of surprising to me because I thought that I was going to love this book, and I did love aspects of it, but it did start to feel a bit long. I mean, it's 450 pages, and I don't think it needed to be that long at all. I think there was probably 100 pages too much. I did really like all of the talk about the universe and like how small and inconsequential humans are in the grand scheme of the galaxies and the universe. Like, I just really liked that exploration of that idea that humans are like ants, and just all of the space talk in general I really enjoyed, which I didn't really know was a thing that I liked in books, but apparently it is. But yeah, this book really felt kind of like the young adult version of A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Like, it's just very heavy and depressing and beautifully written, but kind of dark. And I have a list of content warnings that I would put on this book in my Goodreads review, which my Goodreads is down below if you want to check that out and you want to look at my review for this book to see some of the content warnings. You can certainly do that. But yeah, I did tab quite a bit in here because there were just so many good passages and quotes that I really liked and that I would like to flip back to and read every once in a while just because I liked them. But yeah, overall I am glad that I read it. I did like this book, but just there were just so many things that I didn't like about it that I couldn't give it higher than a 3. Like, it's sitting right in the middle for me, like between loving and hating it, which I don't feel either of those strong emotions. I'm just kind of in the middle, like this book was good and that's about it. So that's why I'm giving it a 3. I think that if I had read this maybe when I was in high school, it would have made a bigger impact on me and probably would have received a higher rating, but I definitely think it's worth the read if you are interested in it, just because I really like how Sean David Hutchinson writes, and there is just, like I said, so many good quotes and passages in here. So yeah, that is We Are the Ants. And that brings us to the final book for this reading vlog, which is The Humans by Matt Haig. I am very excited to read this one, and I feel like my expectations are high for this one. So maybe I need to try to like lower them and go in with no expectations so that it doesn't disappoint me. But I'm really excited to read this one. I am excited to pick it up right after this because I know they have similar themes of you know, what is the overall meaning of life, and is there really even a point to this because we are so inconsequential compared to the universe. I know it has to do with like an alien, and so I'm hoping that there's going to be the same like space talk that there was in We Are the Ants, but this one's a lot shorter. It's less than 300 pages. I'm excited to pick this one up. I do also want to say that this ending line and this ending chapter of this book is like one of my favorites of any book. I just really liked the connection to the title and to the very first chapter of the book, and just kind of how it left the book off. That final chapter and that final line is probably one of my favorites that I've read, which is interesting that it's in a book that I didn't give a super high rating to, but anyway, that's it. Hello. I just wanted to update saying that I started reading The Humans today, and I got to page 105, and I've already tabbed a few things. This book is really funny. There's a lot of humor to it, especially after reading We Are the Ants, which was really heavy and kind of depressing. It's nice to have a book with a little bit of humor in it. So I am so far very much enjoying this book and enjoying an alien's hot take on the human race. And yeah, like I said, it's just really funny and I'm excited to read more. So I'm going to go continue to read, and I don't know, I mean, it's kind of late now, but I don't think I'll be able to finish this tonight, but I could maybe get another 100 pages read or so. So maybe try to get to page 200 tonight. We'll see. So I'm going to go do that and get some reading done. All right, so last night I made it to page 185. So I just have this little chunk left. It's about 100 pages that's left, a little over 100 pages. And I am going to go try to finish this tonight. So let's go do that. I just finished reading The Humans and I really loved it. I think this book is so funny and so cute and very quotable, and I highlighted and tabbed so many passages. I really liked all of the space and math talk, which I was hoping for in this book, and it definitely delivered, but I really liked it. I really liked all of the talk about like what is the meaning of life really, and like what makes a human life worth living and worth saving even. And I really liked Matt Haig's writing. I just, again, like I said, I thought this book had so many great quotes and passages in it. So I think I'm going to end up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. So that means that for reading Gabby's favorite books, I've given 1 a 3 stars, 1 4 stars, and 1 5 stars. So overall, I am really happy with these 3 books, and I'm really glad that I picked them up. Obviously, I had already read Fangirl before, but We Are the Ants and The Humans I read specifically because of Gabby saying that they were her favorite books. I don't think I've ever heard anyone else talk about The Humans. I know Kat from Paperback Dreams has mentioned We Are the Ants was one of her favorite books before she read Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. So I had already heard of We Are the Ants, but Gabby talking about it is what made me want to pick it up specifically. And I am very grateful for that. It was a great, fun reading experience. Although parts of those books are dark, I still really enjoyed myself in this whole reading vlog. I definitely could do more because there are still plenty of books that Gabby says are her favorite books that I am interested to read and would love to read, so I could definitely do another one of these. Yeah, so that is going to be it for this video. Obviously, if you don't know who Gabby is for whatever reason, you definitely should check out her channel. I'm going to have it linked below, as well as a bunch of her videos and videos of hers that I've watched numerous times and have really loved. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, you can let me know and like and subscribe down below, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!